What's going on, gamers? DBM Gamer here. And I know what you're thinking. Gamer, you were just on the moon. What are we doing back here? Well, during the mission, your ghost actually hints at what is actually going on underneath your feet.
The ground here is hollowed out for miles. Who knows what's happening under
Well, despite Battlefield offering double experience for its Battlefest, nah, not today. We're going back to the moon. There's no way I'm not exploring the Hellmouth. Now, while we're exploring the Hellmouth, then, one of the topics that I want to discuss is some rumors that are going around. Now, but before we can get into all of that, I got to get to my shout-outs. My shout-outs are how I show appreciation back to the community that has gotten me this far. To get a shout-out, all you got to do is just drop a comment or just drop a subscription. And if I don't happen to mention your name, just make a comment and I'll make sure to get you. I want to give shout-outs to John Dunning, Zachary Gravel, Bob C., Robin Sank, Dat Vegas Gamer, and a special shout out to Ben Black for kind of helping me get my thoughts in line for this video. Now, one of the missions that was stated, if you took a chance to scroll over the locked objectives or the locked story missions, one of the missions was called the Sword of Crota. And now, in that objective, or in that story, you're tasked with going to the Hellmouth and destroying the Sword of Crota. The Sword of Crota is being described as something that has destroyed thousands of Guardians. They want you to go over there and destroy it. Now, one of the weird things that I wanted to discuss, and if you've been keeping up with me, you notice my obsession with, while in the Hellmouth, there's these extremely large chains. And I had speculated that the chains possibly hold something down way in the basement in the summoning pits. I do have a name for this thing now. It's actually called Fogoth. It's a giant ogre. This actually, I believe, is these chains that are running through the building are the chains that hold him down. One of the things that I had possibly thought is, what if this is the Sword of Crota? What if this is the thing that actually destroyed thousands of Guardians and they want you to destroy it? I don't know. It's just food for thought. Another thing that I got while I was digging around for information about the Hellmouth is I came across another name. Now, like I had said, the Sword of Crota was one story mission that tasks you with going to the Hellmouth. Another thing that is known is that there also is a strike mission that sends you to the Hellmouth. And I would imagine during the strike mission you get to go a lot further and a lot deeper in here than you can possibly go even during just the story mission. And now, one of the things that you're tasked with doing, I believe, in the strike mission is going down to the very bottom of the summoning pits and stopping them from summoning whatever the hell they're summoning down there. Another possibility that I ran across was a name that's known as Zor the Unwed. Now, I don't know if this is something, if I'm kind of getting my puzzle pieces backwards here. I don't know if during the Sword of Crota you're tasked with possibly going and stopping this Zor the Unwed, and that during the strike mission is when you might actually fight the Fogoth ogre monster. Not sure, but these are just puzzle pieces, and I'm not sure how it's all going to fit together. And you're just going to kind of have to wait for Bungie to kind of, say this is how it's all supposed to lay out. But the bottom line is, what I'm dealing with is, in fact, I do have the puzzle pieces. I just don't know how they all fit together. But speaking of facts, things that kind of make me mad are rumors. So while these hive are trying to figure out why the hell this Guardian came from the Earth, now, I happened to run across a YouTuber who was taking a lot of these rumors and basically stating them as fact. And it kind of made me mad a little bit. Now, the rumor is that somebody had hacked into a database that Bungie owned, and they hacked into one of the beta databases, not an official server, mind you, just a beta database, and they pulled out what looked like about 20 or 30 or so missions. Possible story missions. That's the problem with the data information. It's kind of hard to interpret. They said it was around 20 to 30 story missions, possibly 23 different strike missions. A couple other little details that look like they were most likely accurate, being the PvP arena saying that there were 11 of them, and so forth and so on. So you get the idea. It's just bits of information that you don't have the whole picture. It's just pieces of a puzzle, kind of like what I've got here. But a lot of sites and a lot of people took that story and ran with it. So on the topic of this, This is what I would like to say. The particular source of these rumors is from a parts database that would have no reason to have everything in it. Now, from the actual source of the leak, they're saying that the 20 or 30 story missions were the only readable ones from a much larger list that had no name at all. Now, other than a crazy inaccuracy over there being 23 possible strike missions, I believe that's more like variants of the strike missions. It looks like all that we're looking at is just little bits and pieces. Now, after digging into all of these rumors, the only thing I could find that was most likely fact was definitely the PvP maps, because I feel like we have seen them. And the other thing being the exploring. This is coming straight from the community manager, Deej himself. As far as Bungie goes, they call them destinations. So they're saying they're only going to have one destination per planet or explorer area. I guess that's including the Rift. But obviously, with a large multi-year plan, the game will be getting updates and DLC as well as activities straight from Bungie. Destiny was a knee-jerk reaction to all of the competitive play that came out of years of doing Halo. Have a listen straight from the horse's mouth. This is a quote the other day from Irk, who was the former community manager at Bungie. He goes on to state, "Destiny's pretty big. It's the biggest game we've ever made. By far, we're sort of known for making games you can play for months, years, and even decades if you're a little bit dedicated. With Destiny, we're looking to exceed what we've done before. Not just in terms of scale. The moon was their smallest destination. And this solidifies what Deej said earlier about them calling them destinations. But in terms of scope and breadth of activities. That's true for day one as you expect. But it also means we want Destiny to have super long legs. If we're fortunate enough to have you playing months after launch, you'll still find lots of compelling stuff to do. That will manifest itself in a myriad of ways, straight up content to just cool activities that they've yet to show off. We think we did a decent job of supporting Halo post-launch, but we were only ever able to cater to the competitive set. That left a lot of players out in the cold, and that made a lot of the team grumpy. We wanted to do better. So Destiny is philosophically built to support every type of player and all modes with ongoing activities and events. We look at it as quite like a bit like television programming, as opposed to a singular film as we had in the past. We think it's going to be pretty great, but we wanted to test out a bunch of new stuff with the beta to make sure that we could flip the knobs and the levers and reacting and responding with lots, and oh boy did we see lots of players online playing. The beta was water wings. Level 8 is nothing. You barely scratched the surface, and it seems like some folks had fun with what was there. If you did, good news. There's more soon." Now that's straight from Irk. That's the former community manager of Bungie. Now, though he's not actually saying that, there's what exactly they have as far as content, though it would be great if Bungie were to kind of come out and, give some numbers, he's stating that Destiny is going to be a big game. That is what they've said and what Bungie has promised from the beginning. Now, I full well expect that Activision will drop some sort of season pass for DLC, because Destiny looks like a game that's going to get a lot of DLC and as well as a lot of activity to do. So I think there's plenty of content. I'm seeing people worrying left and right that there's not going to be enough to do, and I'm just calling bullshit on that. That's just ridiculous. Well, that's my rant, guys. I am out of here. But as always, guys, have a good one.